For more on the Year of the Woman, my colleague Elaine Reyes spoke with Ruth Wedgwood from Johns Hopkins University.
I think if you asked people who have lived a certain length of life, as I have, they will say it was long in the making, that people really didn't, women people, didn't always think they had the prerogatives that they now do. I think women got bolder. I think over time there were a certain number of sympathizers who happened to be male who could lend a real hand in this. So the kind of incredulity that some men and others might have felt in the old days of having women in certain kinds of positions of authority has largely changed, I think, at least openly. I'm sure there are all kinds of suggestions and CEO suites as to who is a super successor. But women are now seen in positions of power that they didn't used to have.
We're seeing female CEOs, more women in the United States and around the world running for office, winning political office. Is the future female?
I wish I could say yes with an open heart and an absolute sense of confidence, but no, men still do things with men. They're taller, they're stronger, they use the loo together, they have their own gossip chains. Depending on a person's home life, they may or may not be particularly accommodating of their spouse's desire for both having a family and having a professional life that amounts to something and that carries on. Is it better than it was when I was a kid? You betcha. People used to put women, rather, into a small corner of the living room where they would be chatted to a little bit over dinner, but not much. And the willingness, I think, psychological willingness to see females as CEOs, as entrepreneurs, as major political figures, that's pretty new.
So what's the outlook then for young girls around the world? And what would you say to their futures?
Well, if you're taking the category of around the world, there are lots of places where women still clearly do not count at all. India is not a very good place for a woman. Females in Asia generally, I think, may have a much harder time. So I do think, even the failed presidential wannabes who are female, the very fact of their daring do and willingness to undertake the chance of being seen as silly in favor of being seen as somebody of significant views, that's a risk now, I think, that most women are willing to take.